Now, you didn't have to deal with the eugenics wars and where did the 90s go?
Oh my God, yes I did. And that was a little bit of a fight, which I lost, but then I won.
Oh, those are always fun.
So basically, okay, so...
Nothing different. I'm going to put this up just to use it because it's, you know, like...
So, I lived through the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw Khan. He never ruled the world that I lived in. So I felt like, I think maybe we should just ignore it. And CBS said, absolutely not. You have to mention that the eugenics wars started in the 90s. And then I'm like, but then, does World War III go for 70 years? It feels like it's so long. And then it was like, well, yeah, maybe. I mean, that's the idea. It's like, this is a war that kind of decimated the world. And, you know, went on for such a long time. There's my phone. Anyway.
What are we doing? Oh, we got 2 minutes.
What I did was, I have a footnote on page 10 of the book.
Footnote.
A footnote, which I'm not going to let you read. Which is
not with that fuzziness,
but that covers it. That covers it to me, to my satisfaction.
Oh, okay.
How maybe the 90s happened, but they didn't happen, and why they didn't happen. So and it's fun. It's a sort of, it's not written as a joke. Although reading it, I hope people laugh because it does explain it. That's the sort of, to me, it's a great thing to have in the front of the book to sort of say, this is what this book is. We're going to make it as real as we can, but we're also going to obey the rules that have been set down by all the writers, all the Star Trek writers who've come before me. There's some fun stuff in the book here. This is this is Robert April's commission, which I wrote, taking as a template, a commission for a 18th century vessel, but sort of throwing in sort of pieces of sci-fi stuff. The story of the Constitution class ship is something I had a lot of fun writing. Like that, it was a Federation-wide project, and April was the head of it, and sort of this groundbreaking entrepreneur put it all together and brought in Daystrom computer and Marvick's engine design and if you don't know who I'm referencing now, you shouldn't even. Why are you on Larry's website? But I think my 2 favorite pieces of art. This is a propaganda poster from the Romulan War that was on Earth. I mean, I think that Balance of Terror sort of established. I thought that there was this heavy anti-Romulan propaganda that still lasted, so that Styles is still a bigot.
Right.
And I thought that this idea that they created this scare on Earth, and then the other one is. This was an idea that I took from the space flight chronology, that the Romulan War began with an attack on Starbase 1. So this is the attack on Starbase 1. My details are different than the book, but I love that I sort of Pearl Harbor kind of attack. Right. And this piece of art, I just love this piece of art. It's very exciting to me.
Do you say there was one intriguing thing in Next Gen? Now that I'm throwing this at you out of the blue.
No.
Where they're mentioning there's one of those Star Trek things where they lump old history in with future history, and you're supposed to get the flow of
right.
They say Hitler, Lee Kwan, kind of thing.
They're all in here.
And Picard says is like Pearl Harbor, blah blah blah, and Station Salem 1.
He did say that, and I probably should have, and I missed that one. You got one that I missed.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No. I wish I'd remembered.
Like after all these years, like but that's one that stuck out because you talk about the Tomed incident.
Yeah, I do mention the Tomed. See, there are those things that I really wish I. God damn it, Larry. But,
I'm sorry.
No. I really
you say that for the next one.
Because all the original series ones, Hitler, Lee Kwan is mentioned in the book. Maltuvis, which was one of those. Ferris was a name that Kirk threw out once, and I threw them all in there. I missed Station Salem 1.
Oh, okay.
But like.
Well, that could be. That was Picard, so it could be later.
I guess so.
It could be. After.
That's true. Thank you.
I just say that.
Maybe that's the Cardassian War.
There you go.
And then
I think. Okay.
So,
I'm giving all mine away now. What is it?
But the one thing I did do was it was hard to resolve some continuity things like cloaking devices, because it's clear that Kirk's never seen a cloaking device, and yet they're lousy with them in Enterprise. But so I did my best to sort of walk that line. It was difficult. But the one thing that I did resolve, which was always bothered me as a fan, was Next Gen. Picard says the Prime Directive came out as a result of the disastrous first contact with Klingons. That's in that episode, First Contact.
Right.
But then you see the pilot of Enterprise. We see the first contact with the Klingons. It does not appear to be disastrous, except in this book. that basically, without changing the events of the pilot, I talk about how Archer's lack of regard for Klingon custom in bringing that body back set off a chain of events where the Klingons would never look at Earth with trust again. And that led to Archer being one of the guys who ended up being behind the Prime Directive because it's the biggest stain on his career. And what I liked about that is that that's not something you'd ever see in an episode.
Right.
It's not interesting dramatically in an episode, but as a piece of history.
Well, it's festering and it's long suffering, and
yeah. And so there's those kinds of things which I was able to sort of really. It makes sense to me. It makes sense now that Picard could say that about those events that we watched in Broken Bow. So it's fun. That was fun. That's exciting. You know, all the chapters start off with a quote. This is a great piece of art, which also already been online, which is Aelborn simultaneously appearing to the Klingon and the Federation president, named Bormanis in honor of Andre Bormanis. I thought it would be fun to make him an Andorian. And each chapter starts out with a quote. I'm very proud of this one. You can put that one on there.
Okay. I love Matt Decker. I love Doomsday Machine.
Always my favorite, probably my favorite episode.
Oh, see, we're just looking alike. We just think so alike.
So yeah, that was.
You're pretty. What's not in there that you were hoping to, or maybe it's waiting for a second book, or what's?
You know, it wasn't. It was like there just wasn't room. There wasn't room for the Gorn. There wasn't room because it didn't play into Federation history in a big way. There was ways in which I had to drop things. Things become more important, like Tarsus 4, the famine on Tarsus 4. I have to make more important, even though. You know, I'm a fan of original series, but that's ridiculous. I mean, it's a ridiculous episode. I mean, the idea that that you've got this governor of the planet and only 9 people have seen him. Hold on, hold on.
Okay.
Knocking on the door. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. But so there's those things where there were sort of things that were more important, that had to be more important. Because they've sort of made sense of sort of the flow of history,
right.
And then things that just weren't.
Right. Well, anybody that's done, and like I said, we used to do this all the time, but anybody that's done gap filling, the tiniest little throwaway line becomes huge, and things that whole episodes are about wind up not.
You discard.
Right.
You have to discard. Can you pause for a second?
Yeah, sure thing. Well, okay. So real quick, David.
Yes. Amazon, only available from Amazon.
Pre-order now. Pre-order now.
Pre-order now.
When they let me say this.